Hi, it's Sherisse, and I am a former self-sabotager. And I'm going to tell you what self-sabotaging is. It is blocking, ruining, ending, purposefully or subconsciously, damaging situations or opportunities or good things that happen in your life. So there are signs that you're self-sabotaging. One of the biggest signs is not asking for help, thinking that you could just do it all. That can really ruin a lot of things for you. Picking fights with loved ones or colleagues, even setting goals. This one specifically, I dealt with setting goals that are either too high or too low. So it's almost like impossible or just incredibly difficult to achieve where you just feel like it's done. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's too hard. I have dealt with that one a lot. My bad. Avoiding others, avoiding criticism as well, avoiding or distancing yourself from others, negative self talk, extreme self criticism as well. That is a big one that I also dealt with. Playing victim can also ruin a lot of things for you. Blame shifting, making excuses, little things like that. Not taking accountability. Substances, substance abuse, overspending, overusing, overdoing things, not being able to speak up. And the last one that is very real is constantly seeking approval. And when you don't get it, you just kind of bleh. So, as a former self sabotager, I don't even know if that's a real word, but as a former self sabotager, I'm going to tell you the tips that helped me. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I have no background in this. I'm just a 32-year-old teenage girl that went through her own healing and is still going through her own healing. Okay? So take this with a grain of salt, take what resonates with you, and leave the rest away. So for me, practicing my integrity, I have very high integrity, but in the past, not so much. So when it comes to integrity, a good question is, what are your morals? What are your morals? Why do you act on impulse, and how can you be more mindful with your actions and what you allow? Practicing self-awareness was the hardest journey for me just because I put myself in a box for a very long time. But with self-awareness comes accountability. And for a lot of people, that is very hard. But being held accountable for your actions, for what you allow, for why you're doing this, really can help you make a huge, huge positive shift. Taking accountability can look like questions like, did this fail? Or did your actions, reactions, and behavior manifest into this specific reality? How can you change that? How can you act better? How can you react better? And a question that was the hardest for me was trying to figure out, what is the root cause? Is it anxiety? Was it a fear of failure? Was it a trauma? Did your parents do something to you to make you feel like you cannot accomplish something? It could be anything, but trying to break down the root cause, I recommend therapy. It's not for everyone, but self awareness is also really breaking down your own traumas, your own issues, your own past. Journaling is the next step. I love journaling. It really helps you break down your thoughts because if you free write, which is how I journal, I free write. And sometimes I write really gross things, and I mean gross as in like vulgar or nasty or mean or evil. Like I'm human, okay? Like, don't judge me. But I'll write things down, and it's just like this subconscious anger or fear or anxiety or trauma, and it really helps me break down where this action is stemming from. Really helps me understand my subconscious thoughts. Really helps me understand where I'm currently at in my mind. So the questions that I usually like to ask is like, what happened? So I will write in detail what happened, how I reacted, what do I feel caused this, and how can I change this for the future? What can I work on now? So another one is putting your values first and watching red flags. That goes together because it's basically about keeping your standards, being very firm with your standards. Because when we have set standards and we ignore them, right? Because there's a cute guy or cool job, but it goes against our standards, nothing good ever comes from that. we end up being resentful, we end up getting frustrated, or putting ourselves in a toxic or bad or not so much fun situation. So keeping your values and really watching, observing these red flags that go against your values. If you have traumas, sometimes because of these traumas, we tend to ignore red flags within ourselves and others, okay? And we just kind of like look the other way and hopefully things will change for the better. It doesn't always do that, right? I've done this before. So please stick to your standards because loving yourself will really build a wall against all this negativity. And the last one is just really work on yourself. Really, really work on yourself. I am an advocate for therapy. I have a great therapist. She really helps me break down a lot of things. And it's not for everyone, and that is okay. But find steps that you can take, whether it's working out, changing little habits, eating better. If you feel like you just are aggressive naturally, try to figure out how you can calm that down, getting blood work done. And I say blood work because sometimes our hormones are off balance. Check your hormones. Check your hormones. Take some stress relieving supplements, magnesium, ashwagandha, things like that. There's a lot that you can do, but you must work on yourself. And that is the hardest because when we really have a goal, nothing comes easy. The easy way is always not the great way and is oftentimes not attainable. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. I think you're great, and I think you can also heal. The healing journey is never ending. I'm sad to say that, but it's true. However, if you're on this journey, I promise you by next year you'll see a huge difference. I promise you in 6 months you'll see a huge difference. It's just work. All right. So bye bye. Thank you. Subscribe. Follow me on all my social platforms that I'll link down below because I can't think them off the top of my head. And bye.